Hello everyone and welcome to this week's card class, and if you are in the United States, happy 4th of July. I thought about changing the date for this week's card class, but I was going to pre-record it anyways, so I thought you can watch anytime you want, whether that is today on the holiday or at a later time. So today we are going to be using one of our brand new online exclusive products, the Greetings of the Season bundle. This is part of a new mega suite in this release for our online exclusives, and they all became available to customers yesterday. So hopefully you've had a chance to check those out. I really love this bundle because the stamp set has a lot of sentiments that you can use for the holiday season. You can mix and match some of these. This one you can use on the inside of your cards, which I know people are always looking for inside greetings, so I think that's awesome. But the part of this bundle that really sold me on it is this die set. So even if you do not want to get the stamp set and you just purchase the dies, I think it will be well worth your money because look at these tag dies. They are awesome. They all have the little hole so that you can thread ribbon through and make it a tag, or you can cover that up with a ribbon and you don't have to see the hole at all. And we're going to do that on one of the cards today so you can see what I mean. Actually, I'm covering up the hole on two cards so you can see two different ways to do that. But I think they're awesome as tags. There is a second stamp set that you can purchase that coordinates with this die set, and it's more general occasion greetings. So I have a shopping link in the description of the video. And if you go to the online exclusive section of the store, you can see all of the brand new products, including that other stamp set. So we have 3 Christmas cards to make. Do you do Christmas in July? Most of you probably know this about me already, but I craft for Christmas all year round. So Christmas in July is just like an extra fun month for me. So this week we've been doing Christmas in July on my Facebook page and in my Facebook group. So if you are watching this from there, you have probably seen some other projects and things that go along with that Christmas theme. If you are watching on YouTube, come and join us over on Facebook because you'll get even more inspiration every week. I'll put a link to my Facebook page in the description of the video also. So if you're not already following me on there, you can do that. Now, I do a card class every week on Thursdays, and it is generally at 12 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. Right now we're on the Pacific time zone. So I scheduled my video to post on YouTube a little bit earlier than that, just so that it would be ready. But generally I go live on Facebook and then I share the video here to YouTube later. So next week I will be back live again on Facebook. It's been a few weeks because we've had some busy things going on. We were out of town for part of it, but next week I will be live again. So because I am getting back home this week, I am going to go back to offering a card kit this week. So this is the first card you've been staring at, but we have 3 cards this week. And how it works is if you place an order now through Tuesday and you spend more than $40, I will send you the card kit for the 3 cards we're making today. And you will see your card kit will come in envelopes just like the ones I have here, and you'll get everything that you see in the envelope. You will need the bundle or the stamp set at least to do your stamping. In this case, I have die cut everything, so all you will need is stamps. This one is pretty easy to substitute if you have any Christmas stamps. That's all you need. So you'll get the card kit. If you spend more than $50, I double the cards. So I send you a card kit to make 2 of each, which is a lot of fun. So there's a shopping link in the description, and you can shop now through Tuesday for that. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? I think that's it. I think we're gonna get going on our cards. And then if you really like this bundle and you like this paper, which is another online exclusive, at the end of the video I'm going to show you this month's Christmas card club because I used some of these same products. So let's see here. Let me get my cards situated back here. So this is our first card that we're going to make today. So let's get all of the pieces out here. Even though this is pre-recorded, I would love to have some interaction. So while you are watching, please comment and let me know you're here and where you're watching from. You can tell me which card you like best today, but I will draw a winner from the comments, from the likes, from people who share the video, and I will send the 3 cards I make today to 3 of you. So that's always fun too. Okay, we have for this one an old olive card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. We're going to fold that in half. And then this piece right here, this is the new designer series paper, and I should have written down the name because I don't remember it. But it is a really pretty Christmas paper in this suite. On one side, you have gold foiling, so it's a specialty paper. And the other bundle in this suite is all images. So you have some of these greenery images and bells in that other stamp set, and the dies will cut out some of these images also in the designer series paper, which is always so much fun. So I opted to just get the Greetings of the Season bundle for now, but if you are interested in some of those images, make sure you check that one out too. Okay, then we are going to add some ribbon before we put this piece on our card. So this is a new online exclusive too. The color is listed as cream, so it's kind of a vanilla. It's called woven ribbon. It reminds me of kind of some of our faux velvet ribbons, like that type of weight. It ties pretty easily, but it is a little bit of a heavier, thicker ribbon. So I don't know if you can tell that on this card. It is a little bit thicker, so it might bulk up your card just a bit if you are doing a bow, but it is really pretty and really nice, and of course it coordinates with anything. Now, this designer series paper has both white and vanilla tones in it, and that used to be a big no-no to mix white and vanilla, but it no longer is, especially in paper crafting. So you can decide if you want to use white or vanilla paper, and I've kind of used a mix of both on our cards today. And I should say, this piece was cut with our Citrus Blooms dies. That is a really awesome bundle. And this die is one of my favorites because it almost fills the card front, and it's just such a nice shape. So you have to be careful when you're wrapping ribbon around the designer series paper because it is not quite as thick as our regular cardstock. So you want to be gentle so you don't tear the paper when you are tying your ribbon. But I just wrapped it around and we're tying a bow. And I think I'm going to attach it to the card and then I will trim those ends. So this piece I did pretty flat. So I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. And we'll just add a little bit of that. And then like I said, this shape fills up most of your card front. So there's just a little edge on the top and the bottom and the sides. And then you have that pretty scallop. All right, I'm going to trim the edges of my ribbon now. It'll be a little easier since we attached that to the card. Then we can tighten up that bow like this. Okay, now if you got that other bundle with a bell and the greenery images, you could use the dies to die cut some images out of the paper. But since I did not get that, I'm going to do some fussy cutting today. And I'm using my paper snips, which I know I've told you before, really helps when you are fussy cutting. And you don't have to be super exact on this if you don't want to be. And I probably won't be today because otherwise we'll be here and you'll be watching me cut forever. And that wasn't so great, but that's okay. Now I should show you the close-up of this because I actually just realized this when I came into this room to do my video, and the lighting was a little bit different. But the background of some of these papers has, like, it's white, but it has vanilla speckles. Maybe not on that part. I'm going to have to find it. Let's see. Weird. Okay. So this is a card I'll show you at the end that's part of my Christmas card club. And I don't know if it's going to show up on the video or not. But the background is white. And then there's some like almost yellowish vanilla kind of sprinkle texture in there. I don't know if it's showing on the video or not, but that was what I was telling you. The gold or the white and the vanilla you can mix, and it's okay. Now this one is a little bit trickier to die cut, and to fussy cut, I mean. Wouldn't be tricky to die cut, would it? So if you get the dies, that's definitely a bonus. I probably wouldn't do this for mass production, but for one card, I thought it was okay. And you don't necessarily have to go around every little piece of the pine branch, but just do as much as you feel like. And actually, I forgot this. I'm going to cover up some of the bottom with the bell, so I probably didn't have to be quite as exact there. I do want to be a little more exact on the top here, because that's the part that's going to be showing more. And I think I've shared this tip before too, but if you want, you can use a pencil to draw a little outline to help yourself know where to cut. And then you just erase any leftover pencil marks when you are done. And that works pretty well too when you are fussy cutting. Go around the top here. So let me know in the comments what you think of this paper. I always love when our paper has gold foiling. That's one of my favorite kinds of specialty papers, actually. And I love gold for Christmas. Most of the time I am a silver girl. Like with my jewelry, I prefer silver. But for Christmas cards, I love the gold. So let me know in the comments, are you gold or silver girl? Maybe you are both in different situations like I am. Alright, we're getting close to the end because when I get to the bottom of that other side, I'm not going to be super careful. But I did discover when I created the first card that I did like it if I took just a little bit of extra time and went in some of those nooks and crannies. And of course the dies would just be the ultimate way to cut this out. Okay. I'm not going to be as exact here because we're going to cover that up. Okay, now, like I said, I'm mixing white and vanilla. So there is some white background in the designer series paper, but I have cut one of the tags out of very vanilla. And then we're going to do our stamping, and I'm going to use a combination of stamps from the stamp set along with cherry cobbler and old olive ink. So I think I'm actually going to start with the cherry cobbler, and we're going to stamp the Christmas in cherry cobbler ink. And that's going to get centered on the bottom here. And then we can put in the other words with our old olive. So I'm going to work my way up. Try not to drop my stamps all over. We'll put the Merry right there. And wishing you a, we're going to center at the top. So I centered this and I centered this, and then the Mary's kind of off to the side there. And if you work your way up, it works pretty well. Okay, so we have our hole in our tag, but I'm going to kind of cover that up. So I want this to be centered here. We're going to pop that over our ribbon with some dimensionals. Get those backings off. And I'm just going to kind of tuck that under a little bit, but I want it to be centered on my card. And actually, I don't think I quite centered it. Never mind, don't listen to that. I put it over to the right just a little bit because we're going to tuck those images that we fussy cut. So first I'm going to do the pine branch. And we're going to put a few dimensionals on the back of that as well. And you kind of want to keep an eye on where it's going to overlap the tag. You maybe don't want to put a dimensional there because then it will be kind of uneven. I think I did okay. And you can kind of fuss with your bow and tuck it where you want. And then the bells are going to go over the bottom right here. So since they're overlapping, I'm going to put a dimensional here and maybe here. And then we'll put a little bit of our seal at the top to stick it down to that pine branch. But we don't want to have one part that has 2 layers of dimensionals and another part that only has 1, because then it kind of looks funny. Okay, so there we've got our bells and our pine branch. And we're going to finish off with some of the embellishments. So these are cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. So you've got some that are together like berries, and then you've got separate ones. And I was kind of playing with it a little bit, and I think you can separate these pretty easily. They probably have one piece of adhesive, maybe in the middle, but I think it would be pretty easy to just cut that. And then you'd have more single ones if that's what you want to do. So these are part of that suite also. The ribbon is actually not part of this suite. There's another vanilla ribbon that is more satiny, and it is a wider ribbon, and that's the one that's part of this suite. So either one looks nice. And I'm just adding 3 of these cherry cobbler ones on the side there. So there's our first card. All right, moving on to our second card. This one I've mixed more white and vanilla. What do you think of that? I don't know. I was not too excited about it at first, but I think it's okay. So this time I have a thick white card base, 5.5 by 8.5. We'll fold that in half. And then this time I have cut 2 pieces of the designer series paper, and they're both 3 by 4. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know this is my favorite size to cut the designer series paper, because you can get 12 pieces out of one 12 by 12 sheet with no waste. And so you can see this is the opposite side. I've used the same piece both sides. So that first 3 by 4 piece, and this one, I don't know if you can tell too, it looked more like a vanilla background to me, just looking straight on, but if you look close up, it is vanilla and white mixed actually. And I don't think that's probably going to come through on the video because, like I said, I didn't even notice it until I came into this room with different light. But if you get some of the paper, you will be able to see that. So I'm just putting this piece in the center of my card. And then the other piece I'm going to put on a Mossy Meadow mat that is 3.25 by 4.25. So this paper has a lot of our different greens in it. There's Mossy Meadow, there's Old Olive, Garden Green, lots of great Christmassy greens. And this piece I will pop up with some dimensionals. And we'll just center that on our card. And then this is the largest tag in the Greetings of the Season die set. And we're going to do the largest greeting. Now, I used Mossy Meadow ink when I did this first card, but my Mossy Meadow ink I think really needs to be re-inked, and I don't have that re-inker yet. So I decided for the video we're going to just do the Old Olive again. You could do either one and it would look great, I think, but my Mossy Meadow really needs some new ink. All of my green ink pads, I re-inked the Old Olive, and I need to re-ink my Garden Green. So it's time. Get ready for Christmas and re-ink all of the green ink pads. I don't know. Do you do Christmas in July? Do you get ready for Christmas? Comment and let me know if you buy any Christmas presents this early. I actually will buy Christmas presents if I find a good deal. I like to be done early, but I rarely am done early, even though I start early. That's the ironic part. Okay, I cut a piece of that cream ribbon again. And we're also going to add in a second ribbon. This is another online exclusive. It comes in a combo pack with silver and gold. And I think the gold works so well with this paper. So I just wanted to add a touch of that in. So I'm going to thread the cream ribbon through here. And then I think actually what we're going to do is attach the tag. And then it will be a little bit more stable for tying that other ribbon around. So I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals too. And if you wanted your card just a bit flatter, you could put this layer down flat. But there's not a whole lot of bulk to this card, even though 2 layers are popped up with dimensionals. I think it'll still mail just fine. Okay, I'm going to wrap this gold ribbon around my cream ribbon and tie a bow. Sometimes when you have a tag, you can loop just the one ribbon through, but this cream ribbon is a little bit heavier and thicker, and I think it would create too large of a knot and it would not look very nice and it would be bulky. So this way you get to add in that gold, but you still get the cream ribbon and it doesn't get so bulky because this gold ribbon is really narrow and flat. All right, we'll trim the ends there. And then this time we're going to use some of the clear ones and just add a few to our card. So if you would like to order this week and get the card kit, I do not include the ribbon or the embellishments, but you can use whatever ribbon and embellishments you have on hand at home, or you can add these to your order. So there's our second card. What do you think of that one? All right, I'm tucking our cards right into the envelope. So remember, I will choose from the comments and the likes to send the 3 cards from today to 3 of you. Okay, here is our third card for today. Let's get out the pieces for this one. Got everything out of there. Okay, I'm going to try and show you one more time on this piece because this is another one that has the vanilla and the white in the background. And I really don't think it's going to show on the video because it surprised me when I came in here and saw what it actually looked like. So it's okay to mix the white and vanilla because if those professional designers can do it, we can too. All right, we have another thick white card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then this is a nice way to show off the designer series paper, is to cover your card front with it, and you use 2 different pieces. So I think actually what I'm going to do is switch them around this time. So one piece I've cut to 1 1/4 by 5.5, and then the other piece is 3 by 5.5. And you can decide which pattern you want to be the narrow side and which pattern you want to be the wider side. So I'm going to switch it up for this card and do it the opposite way, and then we'll see which one we like better. Okay, so I'm putting that narrow strip down first, and these are cut so they should line up with the edges of your card base. And you will see I like this layout for the showing off the designer series paper. I use the same layout almost for one of my Christmas card club cards that I'll show you here at the end. Okay, this time we're going to put in that vanilla ribbon as a strip down the where those 2 pieces of designer series paper meet. So I'm cutting it a little bit longer and then I'll trim it. This ribbon is a little bit narrow. A lot of times in this case I would put a line of my Stampin' Seal Plus down here. But the ribbon is a little bit narrower than that. So I'm going to get out my liquid glue and just put a very thin line here along that seam, or as close to that seam as I can get, I guess. And then we will lay our ribbon down on top of it. And we'll just kind of hold that there for a few seconds to let it stick to the glue. And then I'm just going to trim the edges of the ribbon. Now you could try and cut your ribbon exactly to size. I like to do it better this way, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever you prefer. Okay, so we've got our vanilla ribbon there. Now here is another tag from the Greetings of the Season dies. So I cut this out of Very Vanilla. And then we're going to mix and match some of the stamps again. This time I have the Season's Greetings and To You and Yours. And I'm going to start with this Season's Greetings in Cherry Cobbler. So there is no red in the designer series paper, but red and green is a classic Christmas combination. So I wanted to add in some red. And the Cherry Cobbler is in the embellishment. So I thought I'll use Cherry Cobbler in my ink too. So you're not going to use the whole tag for your stamping. So I went maybe 1/3 of the way down. I don't know. 1/3, half, not quite half. And then we're going to pull our old olive back in for the to you and yours. And if you have another green, there's also garden green and mossy meadow in the paper. So any of those greens would work. And you could use real red here too. It's a close enough. When you're using the red embellishments, I think the cherry cobbler or the real red would look fine. Okay, this time we're going to attach this with dimensionals, and we are going to be covering up that ribbon hole again. But this time we're going to do it by tying a bow with our gold ribbon. And we'll just put it right over the hole so you won't even see it. So I'm going to overlap a little bit here. And then I'm going to tie a bow with my gold ribbon again. Get that about the size that we want it. And then I'll just add this with a mini glue dot and we'll put it right over that hole so that you can't see it. So you can either use it like a tag or you don't have to. There we go. And then this time I decided that I would use both colors of the embellishment. So you can decide if you like one color better than another. All right, we'll have to do this different too. I'm going to make this card opposite of the other one. The other one I used red in the center and the clear on the edges. We'll do it opposite this time. Okay, there we go. All right, so we've got two versions of the card here. Do you like the right or the left better? I don't know. They're pretty similar, so both is an acceptable answer too. I don't know. They both look nice. All right, let me bring back in the 3 cards for today. I'm going to stick that one we just made in the envelope so it's ready to send to somebody. But here are the 3 cards for today. So remember, if you'd like the card kit, use the shopping link in the description. Shop now through Tuesday, and if you spend more than $40, you'll get the card kit. Spend more than $50, and I will double the cards. All right. Now, I promised to show you my Christmas Card Club cards for this month. So I used the Greetings of the Season bundle, and I used the Designer Series paper, and I used the same ribbon that we used today, but I used a different embellishment. So make sure you check out all of the new online exclusives. This is another one. They're white and pecan pie, and I don't know if you can see this, but they have like a little bit of a design in them, which is really pretty. So my Christmas Card Club, I have 2 card clubs that I run every single month. They are subscriptions, but you can join or cancel anytime. So if you just want this month's kit, you can subscribe and then you can cancel. And then you can join in again whenever you see one that you like. But if you subscribe for 6 consecutive months, I send you a fun little gift package for every 6 consecutive months that you subscribe. So that is a fun little perk of belonging to the club. The club is $44 a month, and this one is Christmas cards all year round. So we never stop crafting for Christmas, and that way you are ready with your Christmas cards when December comes. So let's see the cards this month. So I told you I liked this layout. This is the same layout as that card we just did, except in place of the ribbon there, I used some gold foil. And then I used that large tag, but I cut a white piece for the sentiment. So that's one of the cards. There are 2 fun fold cards in this month's kit. So they're easy fun folds because that's the only kind of fun folds I do. But this one's kind of fun because I use that inside sentiment. And look at this piece of the Designer Series paper. Isn't that gorgeous? Here is another one that has the gold foiling. So pretty. And so usually in the Card Club kits, you get a half package of the Designer Series paper, a roll of the ribbon, and then the embellishment. And you use that on your cards, and then you get all of the card bases and the extra cardstock pieces. In this case, I would not die cut the tags for you. You use your own bundle to do that. So you can add on the bundle if you want, or substitute with something else that you have. But I do give you the piece of cardstock, so you can cut that. So it's different than the card kit for today's online class, where I die cut the pieces for you. For my card clubs, you're going to do the die cutting if the dies are part of the bundle that I used. So hopefully that makes sense. Ask if you have questions. And then our fourth card is also a fun fold. This is a pocket card, which is super fun. So you can write on there and then tuck it into the pocket. And I love this pattern too with that gold foiling. So the club is $44 a month. The deadline to sign up for this month's Christmas card club, and the deadline every month is the 15th. And I will put the link to sign up in the description of the video. But that's just the sign up link, and then I will email you with a direct link to subscribe. So watch your email for that if you have signed up for this club. All right, I hope you enjoyed our cards today. I hope you love this new bundle. Happy 4th of July if you are watching on the holiday. And I will be back live on my Facebook business page next week. So I hope you can join me then. Thank you so much for watching. Happy stamping. Bye.